This is the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B.
Welcome to episode 303 of This is the G Podcast. Hey, y'all, just open your wallets and hold on tight, G fam, because the magicians in Washington just pulled a new number out of the hat. $200 billion. That is what they're asking for today. $200 billion of your money for a war that, legally speaking, isn't even a war. No declaration from Congress, no authorization from the people, just a massive, unauthorized withdrawal from the American future. And remember the con. Last summer, they stood on the fancy rugs in the White House and told us Iran's nuclear program was annihilated. They said the threat was over. So if the job was done, why does it cost $200 billion to finish it now? We've been lied to, plain and simple. And look at who's signing the checks. We've got a 34-count felon in the Oval Office and a man in the Middle East who's been ducking a corruption trial since 2020. These aren't leaders. They're defendants playing risk with our children's lives. Behind them, you've got the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, the man who is tattooed to the hilt with Deus Vult and Crusader crosses. He's not looking for a ceasefire. He's looking for a 12th century holy war. And he wants you to fund the crusade. Meanwhile, the opposition is ghosting you. They're so deep in AIPAC lobby money they can't even find their own voices. They promised you no new wars during the campaign, and now they're handing over $200 billion for one that probably will never end. These are perilous times, folks. The money's flowing, the blood is spilling, and the con is in full swing. Let's go to the weekend news, and we'll come back. Don't go anywhere.
News team, assemble!
It's time for the Week in News with Syracuse Mike.
A federal judge in Massachusetts has blocked Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s overhaul of the nation's childhood vaccine schedule. The ruling came in a lawsuit filed by the American Academy of Pediatrics and other medical groups who argue the changes violated federal law. The revised schedule had cut recommended childhood vaccines from 18 to 11. The judge also paused Kennedy's new appointments to a key CDC vaccine advisory panel, which pretty much means a planned meeting this week is unlikely. The war in Iran continues, with President Trump urging NATO allies to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz after Iran effectively shut down the key oil shipping route.
We strongly encourage the other nations to get involved with us and get involved quickly and with great enthusiasm.
European leaders are pushing back. Germany's defense minister says this is not our war. And several allies say they have no immediate plans to send military support as the closure drives global oil prices higher. President Trump is criticizing U.S. allies for refusing to assist the U.S. by helping reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
I think NATO's making a very foolish mistake, and I've long said that, I wonder whether or not NATO would ever be there for us. So this was a great test. Because we don't need them, but they should have been there.
The president adds he's disappointed in the alliance, despite what he called trillions spent on its defense. Former National Counterterrorism Center Director Joe Kent has resigned amid the war with Iran. The president criticized Kent, calling him very weak on security, and said it's a good thing that he's out. Kent, however, wrote in his resignation letter that Iran posed no imminent threat to the United States. Congress remains deadlocked over funding the Department of Homeland Security, now in its second month of a shutdown. Senate Democrats have submitted a new counteroffer, but Republicans quickly dismissed it. It's unclear what the offer was. The standoff follows controversial shootings in Minneapolis that sparked calls for immigration reform. Meanwhile, TSA officers are working without pay. Some are calling in sick, though, leading to long security lines, over 2 hours in Atlanta and up to 100 minutes in Houston. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is pushing back against claims that Israel pressured the U.S. into the war with Iran. Speaking at a press conference, Netanyahu said President Trump makes decisions based on America's interests alone. He pointed to Trump's past criticism of Iran and exit from the nuclear deal. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is clarifying earlier remarks suggesting the U.S. anticipated the conflict. Those comments have since been walked back. Atlanta pastor Jamal Bryant, who recently announced the end of the boycott against Target, has now reversed himself. Bryant, who started the 40-day fast in March of 2025, says he, quote, misread the room after backlash from shoppers who want the boycott to continue. The boycott actually started early last year after Target backed away from its diversity policies under pressure from the Trump administration. Company officials admit the boycott has had some impact, but have not announced any plans to restore its DEI policies. The retailer has experienced other problems as well, like out-of-stock issues and pricing. Chuck Norris, the martial artist and action star who became a pop culture icon on TV's Walker, Texas Ranger, has died. His family says he passed away peacefully Thursday, surrounded by loved ones. Norris rose to fame as a champion fighter before starring alongside Bruce Lee in The Way of the Dragon and leading a string of hit action films in the 1980s. Chuck Norris was 86.
Hey, what's up, y'all? So do you think his legacy, Norris's legacy, will be remembered for MAGA or for his stardom? Which one? I think I've got y'all on mute, so go ahead. You're okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tanya B.
I mean, don't give a flying fig, number one.
Oh.
Okay?
You know what?
Hey,
for the sake of the historical record, I let Mike do the story.
Thank you.
I didn't want to give it to you. Yeah, go ahead.
All I know of him is martial arts, Walker, Texas Ranger, and him having these crazy conspiracy theories about health on YouTube every 10 seconds. He said something like, I don't age, I level up. Well, this is what you call leveling up. I want no parts of it. Rest in peace, Chuck Norris.
Same question to you, Howie.
The only thing I know about Chuck Norris, or anything I enjoy about Chuck Norris, is he never does push-ups. He does earth downs. That was the thing we always talked about when I was a kid. But yeah, I think I'll remember him more for Walker, Texas Ranger. Anything beyond that, I never really listened to him. He wasn't in my circle of influence at all.
Well, he kind of jumped into my circle when he jumped into the whole birtherism movement with Obama.
Oh, right, right.
And after that, I was like, this dude. And they just kept going from there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm cool with celebrities voicing their opinions. I mean, I'm just having a ball watching Eric Benet. I mean, Eric Benet is off the chain.
Yeah. Did you see him with the McDonald's? He's going to go viral with this McDonald's thing.
I'm on TikTok, so, I'm on his feed. So, just watching him go off on Trump is just hilarious. And wow. He said, I think the last two, he mentioned somebody in his feed must have been, somebody, well, I don't know who it was, but basically they said, hey, I liked it when you were smiling and singing.
Well, he is singing now.
Well, he's still singing, but they were talking about in his feed.
Oh,
in his TikTok
I don't know
feed.
if you saw the one from this morning about the parody about McDonald's and orange drink or something or other. And he did an a cappella. He layered it 6 times. It's amazing. And he's inviting creators to put a track underneath it. And I say he's going to go viral.
Okay. Well, good for him. I've always, I remember when he first started his career and how he used to sing, take his shoes off barefoot in these little intimate clubs. He's a fun guy, great singer. He and Hallie just didn't work out for multiple reasons, but it is what it is. All right, y'all. This is the G Podcast. Of course, we're your news and news recap, entertainment, pop culture, and the T Podcast. Make sure you follow us on Spotify. Got to say hello to the one and only Tanya B is in the building. Tanya B, what's up?
Well, you know where I've been for the last week?
Yeah. I mean, you've been in the TSA line.
Yes, at the D.C. airport, yes. And let me say this to you. That was the shortest one because, those politicians do not want to hold up their way home.
Oh, no.
When they leave. So that
anything that affects them.
Yeah, and Dulles was worse. But I got to get back in that line again on Friday, yo. Jesus. Wow. Unless they come to a resolution, I will be back at the airport 3 hours ahead of my flight. And thank goodness don't go anywhere this weekend. Spring break is off the hook.
Yeah. I'm wondering. Well, I'm seeing more people are just opting to drive. Mm-hmm. So if you live in Atlanta, if you live in the Atlanta area and South, because we have friends in Macon too, I-75 is off the chain, and really? and it's already bad because the truckers don't know how to drive. One, and the other thing is they drive sleep. I mean, half of them are distracted. It's just horrible. I mean, you see accidents, you see overturned trucks everywhere going down 75. I mean, I'm not saying they don't know how. I'm just saying that a lot of them hit the road without adequate training.
And they're aggressive.
And they're very aggressive.
Oh, yeah, very.
Whereas, stay in the right lane, use the center to pass, get back in the right lane.
Your lane. And you know what? Another thing, Tommy B, I don't know if this is just to try to jar people into fear, but I saw it again this morning on the news where the head of the TSA is talking about we may have to shut down some airports. Really?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be, see, this is a time when maybe you might want to go to a smaller airport. I don't know. But all I know is, I know what I went through. Ugh. I got PTSD. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Hey, let me go ahead and introduce the man. He's already been talking. The one and only Hitman Howie is back. Hitman, thank you so much.
Thanks for the invitation.
Hey, I know it was last minute, bro. I appreciate you jumping in. What you got to say,
worries,
man? Go ahead.
If I'm available, I appreciate the offer. Be careful of those small airports. Those are the ones they're talking about if they have to shut down. Some airports will be the smaller ones because of the TSA. The good thing about Atlanta Airport, though, is they have an app that you know how long the wait line is at TSA. You should take advantage of it. Not sure about the other airports, but I know Atlanta does it.
Yeah. Well, they do, but now they're saying
accurate,
it might not be correct, because of this delay. But I mean, and one other thing I would say to anybody who's flying, please take heed, and have some empathy for these folks, because every TSA agent I encountered, I said, thank you for coming to work. I know it's not easy. I said, you're better than me, because if I wasn't getting paid for 35 days and about to be another pay period where I'm not getting paid.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not what I call volunteer work. So shout out to all the TSA folks that do come to work.
Yeah.
And some may not know, but the reason there is this issue, Democrats don't want to fund ICE,
right,
which is part of the DHS. Okay,
right.
So this is collateral damage. When it comes down to the TSA, and it's unfortunate, but I think the Democrats, as Mike said, came up with a resolution and it was turned down. So there's no telling what's going to happen now. It's unfortunate. In the meantime, I started the episode with the fact that these guys are asking for $200 billion for this excursion. Okay. And I'm gonna start with you, Howie. This week, I mean, we tried to at least knock a little bit off because it's a huge rock when we're looking at this Iran war. Well, not a war, but what is it to you when considering where we are now? Your thoughts?
Well, I think more than anything for me is an economic impact, and it's much larger than we think it is. Yeah, we're talking about.
Yeah, go ahead, start over. No, just in general. What do you?
No, in general, I think it's a huge economic impact that's not necessary, and it's going to cause our country to go possibly into a pre-recession or maybe into a recession because things are happening, prices are rising, and people can't afford things. And it's not because of something outside of our control. We can control this, but we decided that this war is more important than America first, if you will. And Americans are feeling it. I'm telling you, I went to the gas pump the other day. I'm feeling it.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I won't get into it because I want to go to Tanya B again. Tanya B, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are everything Howie said is going to push us into. I'm just going to call it a recession again. Well, how about a depression? Because a lot of people are already depressed. Prices are going up. People are not getting paid. How do you survive, and how long is it going to last? But when I looked at even gas prices, regular gas, $5.88.
Yeah.
Imagine what, I bet you nobody in LA is driving this week. Because think about their gas has always been high. It's probably $8 to $10 for a gallon of regular. So a lot of people won't be going out. They won't be visiting. They may be doing Zoom parties. And, people are just really, they're stretched. And when you get stretched like that financially, you also get stressed. Mm-hmm. So don't be surprised if there is some type of backlash somewhere. And I just say I firmly believe all this is being done so Orange Peel and his friends can get richer and steal more from people, who work and pay their bills, and that group steals money and doesn't pay their bills. Then when the oil well is dry, then that. But remember one thing: once this whole alleged war, that he's at war with himself, I guess. Now he's talking about going and taking over Cuba, but I really hope Cuba got something for him, because I still say Iran is still saying we will respond in kind. Mm-hmm. And while I was up in the DMV, there was a story or a theory going around the DMV that Iran was planning to bomb the U.S. at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. And guess what?
Oh,
sorry, not sorry. I did not feel any type of way.
Yeah. Well, my thing, and I already opened, I wanted to frame this, and the biggest issue I have with all of this, and let me be clear. I know the pushback is, well, presidents have actually gone to quote unquote war without Congress before. Korean War was one, but the way this happened, you had the week of the State of the Union. Mm-hmm. He could have used the State of the Union to explain, not necessarily when, but just say it's coming. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that bothered me this week was, I don't know if you saw the Japanese Prime Minister in the White House with the press conference when he brings up Pearl Harbor. Yes. I mean, it just shows you, first of all, how unpresidential he is. It also shows you that he has no empathy for the military and veterans. We know that was 80 years ago, and we know most of the people involved in it are gone. I think the last survivor may have passed away recently. But to say it, even I think the reporter in the room, it wasn't the prime, because the prime minister of Japan is a MAGA wannabe anyway. So she didn't, it just surprised her. You can see the look on her face. But I think the press, the Japanese press, were almost like, how can you say that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And his response was, well, you surprised us.
You should have told us. You should have told me. I'm like, man, you weren't even in. You were dodging it.
So it's hard to have, quite frankly, I'm beyond Trump. Yeah. You know what I mean? I have no empathy. Whatever happens to him, happens to him. And I don't mean that in terms of not respecting the presidency, but the presidency at this point with him in office has already, it's a disaster. It's been taken so low.
Yeah. It's a joke, not even a joke. Yeah.
I don't know if it'll ever recover. I don't know if the respect for the presidency will ever recover. I just don't know. I think Joe Biden, and I bring this up, and I'll go to you in a minute, Tanya B.
That's okay.
We didn't. I'm one of these guys. I've been doing a podcast since 2015. I always bring this up. 2015, 2016. It was pre-Hillary. It was during the Hillary Trump, all that. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the best way to say this is we shouldn't be here.
Right.
We shouldn't be here. If Mueller had done his job, if what's his name with Biden?
Garland.
If Garland had done his job, if Congress had done their job with the two impeachments, if the only group of people who really done their job is hats off to New York. You know what I mean?
That's it.
Hats off to New York. New York is the only one who said, oh, no, none of this.
Miss Tisha James.
Yeah. Everyone else has let him off the hook. And this is, it's kind of like the chickens have come home to roost. This is what you get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We know everything about him. We know, I'm not surprised about the Epstein stuff. Nobody's surprised. We knew it. Hillary said it. And people are getting mad at Kamala Harris because she said it. Mm-hmm. Stephen A. Smith goes on, and if this woman says one more time, dude, she should be saying, I told you so.
Exactly.
Right.
He needs to be quiet.
Right. I'm not defending Kamala. Kamala spoke the truth.
Right.
Biden spoke the truth. Hillary spoke the truth. Everybody has said, here's what you're going to get. As quiet as it's kept, Lindsey Graham spoke the truth.
That's the truth.
Was
But
that
he won't
before or
admit
after
it.
he fell down and hit his head?
No, it was, well, before. And after. But now it's all forgotten. Now he's in Trump's pocket like Melania was before she married him. But go ahead, one more. I'll let you go, Tanya B.
Ooh, no, I just, I hope we can get out of this mess before all of our lifetimes end. And I want to say this to young people, those that are out there protesting and, things along that line, that's cool because mother's done protesting, but don't let up, because what they're failing to realize is that this is going to have more of an impact on their quality of life than it does on ours.
Yeah, it's not about us. It's about the future. It really is about our kids. It's about our grandkids. It's about, it's about the future. It's not about, what we're living in now. And I heard a MAGA guy say, well, it's okay to put up with a little bit more on gas. Dude, what are you talking about?
Because he don't have a job to go to. He doesn't drive.
He told you he wasn't going to do this.
Right.
This was what he ran on.
Exactly.
He accused Kamala Harris and her administration, if there would be an administration, of taking us into the thing that he is doing right now.
Right.
Times 10.
So how can, it doesn't boggle my mind because we all know it's a cult. So that's what cults do. Cults don't waver. They're still 100% behind him. The polls still say it. MAGA, anybody who identifies as MAGA is 100% behind him because they know, even the evangelicals, Hegseth, this whole thing is a crusade.
Please.
All right. Did you have something else? We're going to move on. Last thoughts on Iran.
No, the evangelicals, where's Paula White today? She being awfully quiet.
Oh, Paula White. Oh, let me tell you, Paula White is in and out of that White House. More than you know.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
And I'm not going to even tell you.
Look, I'm not, I think people, there is a thin line between being an anti-Semite and just acknowledging that leadership in that country is horrible. Netanyahu is not a good leader.
Right.
Okay? But that doesn't mean that the Israel people are bad people. It doesn't mean Israel's a bad country. What it means is the leader of that country right now is hell-bent on protecting himself the same way that the leader in our country is hell-bent on protecting himself. Well,
I know.
Well, I think it's important to say that if you say something negative about Netanyahu, we're not saying something negative about the Israeli people.
Correct.
And
exactly.
Oftentimes they want to cross those wires, and that's not true. You could be a poor, and we can see it, a poor or bad leader in Netanyahu, but the Israeli people are exceptional people across, in most cases. So don't cross those wires if you're saying something negative about him.
Yeah. It's purely about leadership right now.
Yes.
And those folks are suffering. Those folks are suffering.
Yeah. And the whole thing right now, and I want to wrap it, is annihilation. Israel's about annihilation. And candidly, that should not be our war.
Right. Because
their war, they are close enough to be hit. They know that. But we don't need to be, for that reason, we don't need to stay long. We need to get up out of there.
Well, but they're talking about boots on the ground.
Yes. But let me say it, the last word was, I'm not doing boots on the ground, but in the meantime, 75,000?
Been called up. That's
right.
Been
called up?
Yep.
And what about the ones that said they're not going?
Out of the White House. Go ahead, Tanya B.
No, there was a high-ranking, I just saw it today, a high-ranking black man in the military, and he's like, I'm not doing this. And they fired him. There are people that they are calling up, even from the reserves, that said, you know what? Hang me out to dry. I ain't going. Not I'm not going. I ain't going.
Well, you heard basically in Mike's report, the official that resigned this week, he basically said, he was the intelligence guy. He said there was no immediate threat.
Yeah.
There was no immediate threat.
Joe Kent, right.
Joe Kent never has been a threat.
No.
Yeah, his letter was it was a perfect letter, and he said how much he supported Trump in the past, but this war is totally outside of what he expected to do as a national security leader.
Yeah, and he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, let's do this. We'll come back. We'll wrap it at the end when we what we're talking about. But Tanya B will come back and do the tea.
Sounds good.
Let's go ahead and take a break. Here we go.
Now then, children, it's time for tea.
It's tea time, y'all. Sipping the tea with Tanya B.
Tanya B, I'm gonna let you roll. What you got?
First, I gotta say, Michael B. Jordan, Michael B. Jordan, Michael B. Jordan, y'all. Okay, the Academy Awards belong to one man, Michael B. Jordan, y'all. Okay, he took home the Best Actor Oscar for Sinners. He had a dual role, but again, he was doing double duty, and he absolutely positively deserved it, and every other award he's received this year. And I got to give him 5 on it because he celebrated in the most grown man business way. He took his Oscar, went into, not drive through, he went into the In-N-Out and ordered burgers and fries. He took pictures, he signed autographs. And I think just the pictures that I saw of him, he was just really just drinking in the moment. It's like, is this really happening to me? And I really believe that he is the hot guy in Hollywood right now. His star is only destined to rise. He's got so many other things that he might do. Now, I got to say this, Tommy B. They have remade the Miami Vice movie way too many times now, and it's been a flop. If anybody can resurrect this movie, is Michael B. Jordan playing Tubbs. That's all I got to say. Austin Butler,
especially if Coogler does it. You know what I mean? They've been together for a long time. It's like Spike and Denzel. They've been going back to Fruitvale Station.
Yeah. Oh, can we go somewhere else? Okay. Austin Butler, who played Elvis earlier, was it last year? He's going to play the Don Johnson character. Word from the Curb is, I heard there might be a cameo from Jamie Foxx. I'm also hearing that Tom Cruise may be involved. But Michael B. Jordan. And I love the fact that his mother was his date. Not Lori Harvey, but his mama was his date. Now, there were a few folks, anybody who brought their mama to the awards as their date gets, an extra 5 on it. But I just think so many great things are going to happen for this young man, and he deserves it. Now, somebody go write a check for $50,000 so he can get his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Thank you very much.
Did you see Kim Kardashian posted? Is he single? I got a friend is asking, and he said, no, thank you.
What, Northwest? He don't want to. No, that's a cult. He does not want to be in.
No, that's what I'm saying.
She's trying to.
Chalamet's already seeing the results tied up to Jenner. Yeah.
I'm just saying. You know what? I got to talk about this.
Kardashian. Yes, she is. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Woo! Tiana Taylor. No, I've been following her for a while. When I first found out who she was, I said, who is this woman? She's everywhere. She's a dancer. She's an actress. She's a singer. Great. Although it was reminiscent of, what was that thing, Halle Berry and that man, Monsters Ball. But yet and still, this is really the come up for her. But one thing I will tell you this, she looks like that girl from 6th grade that would beat up anybody who messed with anybody. Yeah. And she beat up all the boys in 6th and 7th grade. Well,
and she beat up Imani Sherbert.
Right. Oh, okay. And I'm not talking about financially either. She mollywopped his ass. But
he got $2 million left.
Well, you know what? Got
Damn.
too many kids, and that's what you get for cheating on
Cheaper
her.
to keep her.
Anyway, I'm not talking about that. So let's get back to her. Now, she went viral, not so much for her dress, not so much for even telling her kids to go get in the bed, but I think there was another dust up a year or two ago about these overzealous Oscar security guards. Now, they tried to get into it. He tried it with her. He was not successful. Even the Academy had to apologize to her. And I get it when she says, I don't tolerate disrespect. And I give her another 5 on it, too, for staying authentic and standing her ground. Because when you find these rent-a-cops that are out there, they, and I've had this experience myself, Tommy B, in a lot of venues and just places I've been, they seem to think, especially if they look like this and not like this, that they can just roll over black women. And I'm here to tell you right now, we are not here for it. So, if she'd have mollywopped them, she'd have probably, I'm pressing charges, I'm suing her. But sometimes I give her credit for it. Use your words. And she did that. So 5 on to her. Okay, here we go with the dumb donkey of the week. Oh, Jesus. Cry Reese and Tank. Now, remember, they had the TGT. You may recall it was Tank, Genuine, and Tyrese. Well, Genuine pops out there on the 90s tour looking like he needs some physical therapist and an oxygen tank, but that's another story. But now they want to go at it. Now, let me see. For the ladies versus, which I won't be watching because versus is over, y'all. But anyway, it's this coming Thursday if you care. But Tyrese is already talking smack. But Tank, he has the catalog, not so much the number one songs that Tank has had, but the ones he's written for other people. So I think it's going to be a very short program. And, if you going in LA, you better start walking now or get your bus pass ready because I'm Team Tank. I'm Team Tank.
Yeah, it's going to be short.
It's going to be very short. Tyrese can sing, 3, maybe 4 songs? Oh, maybe he'll sing the Coca-Cola commercial. I make 4 songs. Okay.
Yeah.
So, we always, one thing I got to say about, we've had Matthew Knowles on this podcast on more than one occasion. Got to give it up to Beyonce's parents. Your parents always, I believe, kind of set the tone for the kind of person that you're going to become. And, in the fashion of Beyonce learning to be, somebody who gives back. But I think it was also instilled in Kelly and also Michelle Williams, because if you remember, they started their Knowles Rolling House after Katrina to build housing for people who were homeless from Katrina. But now they're taking on, the large task of housing people who are homeless. And they have a building that they've completed. It's supposed to open this summer. And I just give them 5 on it for that. Because, even, we know Beyonce got boatloads of money. Kelly is good. She's solid. But I really commend them for not, don't forget where you come from and just, giving it like Michael B. Jordan. This is their way of going to the In-N-Out Burger and housing. I've been in Houston and it's chronic. It's chronic in a lot of places, actually. But I just want to say congratulations and thank you for giving back to your community because they're from Houston, Houston raised. But I got to say, one more thing. I know Syracuse and Mike talked about Chuck Norris. Okay. I'm glad to say rest in peace to, I think one of the bright spots for everybody, be you male or female, Kiki Shepard on Showtime at the Apollo. Reruns are on Pluto. But, I think she was the original Vanna Black before Old Girl came along. Kiki Shepard, and also she had a very successful career on Broadway before she got to Showtime at the Apollo that people discount. Things like Sophisticated Ladies, Bubbling Brown Sugar, things along that line. She was a very accomplished singer. And all she had to do was walk out
I don't know if you remember, she was in The Cotton Club.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The movie.
And she was able to come out there, say very few words, and make her mark, and that was her brand. So she will be missed. Again, I want to say to women of color, please go get your heart checked. Heart disease is the #1 silent killer of African American women, and Kiki Shepard had a massive heart attack. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. And lastly, let's talk about the return of the blueprint. Jay-Z broke the internet. He's going to break a lot of other things, just like Beyonce broke it with Cowboy Carter. He's doing 2 nights at Yankee Stadium in New York in July. Can you believe it's been the 30th year since he released Reasonable Doubt? And then the 25th anniversary of the Blueprint. I mean, just doing, I don't know if he'll be, if he does both of those albums, he'll be out there about, 4 or 5 hours? But let me say something. If you want to go to this concert, you'll have to miss paying the bill. Because I looked up again this morning, the cheapest ticket right now is $625.
What? You mean the Ticketmaster lawsuit? Live Nation?
Well, Jay-Z's part of them, so let's call a thing. But the cheapest ticket, I guess you'll be sitting over there at JFK Airport with the $625 seats.
Yeah.
Yep. So
people
that's
ask
pretty
me
much
what was
it.
the last concert I went to. It's like I think because I had to go because it was part of a promotion. Maybe the Steve Miller Band, because they were. If you live in Atlanta, Peachtree City, they performed a show at Peachtree City. It was I'm a '70s baby, so
Little abracadabra.
yes. Well, I'm talking about the joke.
Jet Airliner.
Joke.
My jam is Jet Airliner.
Yeah, Fly Like an Eagle.
I know that's right.
Woo. What was that
Steve
song?
was a hit.
Woo.
Look, Steve Miller was a hit-making pimp.
Yes.
That dude.
He was, and I like the fact that he's a rebel, and he sued that Orange Pill man for trying to use his music. He was like, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
Stop
so
it.
true.
Yeah. So he can come to the cookout.
Let me say this, y'all, and I want to go back to Centers for a minute. I knew, plus, keep in mind, and I want to just bring this up, the ratings for the Oscars were down, okay? Mm-hmm. And actually, I'm happy because here's the deal. I think they tried to use the 16 nominations for Centers to drive us to watch the Academy Award. But I think people have caught on, especially, black people know now that whenever there's a big black movie that actually gets these nominations, we know that the Okie Doke is coming. And the Okie Doke of Sinners, even though it has 16 nominations, it's going to go down as the biggest loser because out of the 16, it only won 4. 12 losses is a record. I don't know if people know that. So the fact that they lost 12 out of 16, it's an Oscars record. Nobody talks about that because they don't want to admit that this was the Okie Doke. Okay. We just want to bait you into watching, because Sinners should have won at least 2 other awards minimum. And that should have been costume. Ruth Brown should have won for costumes instead of freaking Frankenstein.
Hello?
And then makeup. I think they should have won, but getting back to or getting into the losses, I think the fix was in. And let me give you my conspiracy theory.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Warner Brothers movies took the top movies this year. Of course, Paul Thomas Anderson, who's married to Maya Rudolph, or they've been partners for a long time. They have kids together.
She's married.
She's a black woman. I guess she's black. Yeah. Maybe she's black. Well,
I think she identified.
That's Minnie Riperton's daughter.
Right.
Yeah. Bottom line, here's my conspiracy. I think the fact that this Warner Brothers Paramount deal is so critical for Warner Brothers that they got to these judges and made it a Paul Thomas Anderson night because they couldn't make it a Sinners night, considering who's buying Warner Brothers. You know what I mean? The Ellis family. No, the Ellisons. But and I get pushback because they say, why would they never do that to their own movie? Yes, they would. Because when I saw Michael B. Jordan win Best Actor, I knew Sinners was not going to win Best Picture.
Oh, me too.
It was a concession. Okay, we'll give you one big one. And they also got cinematography, and they got Best Original Screenplay.
Right.
But I thought Michael B. Jordan's Best Actor Award was a concession for giving Paul Thomas Anderson and One Battle After Another Best Picture. Because keep in mind, Sinners is profitable. It's a done deal. They've already made their money back. They're making more money, still making money. Warner Brothers cut a deal with Ryan Coogler that after 25 years he owns the movie. He owns the rights to it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So they're going to make theirs. Warner Brothers is on the hook for $100 million for One Battle After Another.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want to go into, basically, they're not going to go into the final parts of this negotiation with Paramount with $100 million albatross over the neck of this movie and say, well, why did you do this? Because you might, and so I think giving it Best Picture makes it an easier pill to swallow for the new owners, if that makes sense.
That's interesting.
So that's nobody, everybody's like, nah, they wouldn't do that. I said, yes, they will. Yes, they would.
Yes, they did.
Hollywood. Yes, they did. This is Hollywood.
Yeah, they did it.
I don't trust the Oscars. The voters, the voting part of the Academy, they don't outwardly, how do you call it, bribe them. But what they do is they send them on junkets. So all you got to do is up the money. You know you're in a negotiation to be sold. So it was a Warner Brothers night. You had Sinners do well. You had One Battle After Another do well. And you had Weapons, which I thought was a great movie as well. The horror movie, where they got Best Actress for that movie. So, Delroy Lindo should have won. Not Sean Penn.
Who wasn't even
Delroy
there?
Lindo was nominated for Best Actor or Best Supporting Actor, as was Sean Penn.
Right.
And I just think, again, come on, y'all. Let's not be as obvious. I just think the fix is in. People know it. People feel it, and they just don't watch. I think if anything, people are talking about, well, we got to change. Maybe Conan's not the guy. Blah blah blah. No, I think the Oscars has lost all credibility. I think the movies that win, the actors, the Oscars lacks credibility. So many movies have won Best Picture that shouldn't have won Best Picture.
Right.
We never even saw them.
Even my black movies like Moonlight. I'm like, how did Moonlight? Nobody saw Moonlight. Have you seen Moonlight yet?
I haven't seen Moonlight.
I went to see Moonlight because I reviewed it. Okay. And nobody was in there.
Really?
I was in there reviewing.
Like the Melania
It was
movie.
great having the movie theater to myself. Go ahead.
I said, like the Melania movie. Nobody was in there.
I would not. Can't nobody pay me to go see that movie. No.
Yeah.
$1,000 to go see it? No, it's all right.
Is that movie still out even?
No, they pulled it. They pulled it out.
They pulled it, yeah.
Well, you know one thing that's great about
the rats.
About that? Yeah, that's it. Yep, rats eating popcorn. In New York City, it was the rats eating the pizza. Okay, so yes.
That's all.
But one thing I want to say is another reason why I hate to say I knew, but I really felt that Delroy Lindo wasn't going to win. Because I already gave his brother a Tony Award. We can't make you, put you on the track to becoming a GOAT. So I knew he wouldn't. I kind of felt he wouldn't get it.
I thought, how do you say it? I thought he should have won for Spike Lee's movie when he was nominated.
He should have won for a lot of movies. Think about it.
The Five Bloods?
The Five Bloods?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
He should have won for that. So I thought maybe they'll make a concession because honestly, Paul Thomas Anderson, who's the director of One Battle After Another, this is a concession. He's never won. They wanted him to win. They wanted the movie to do well. I don't think it's one of his best movies. It's not. His best movie was There Will Be Blood, Boogie Nights. There are a few other movies that he's done that I think are better movies. But, I don't say it because it's up against Sinners. I just say One Battle After Another. Nobody will remember it in a few years. Just like who remembers the one who won the year before about the escort. No, I can't even, starts with an A.
Like I said,
come on. Oscars. Come on. Yeah. I do think, what do y'all think? Do you think the Oscars are credible when it comes down to the general public?
I think they are no more credible because now the covers have been pulled off, just like all of that crap that goes on. They had a backroom meeting at the Oscars with that crazy guy that owns Variety and the Hollywood Reporter. He was in there. And just like they do with the Grammys, the Grammys are lacking credibility because now people know how shady and unfair that process really is.
Yeah. So like I said last week, you can't allow the Oscars to validate your favorite movie because that's not who they are. That's not what they do. It's rare. You know,
And,
I'm
like
surprised. I mean, look, it's kind of
Timothy
funny because I don't really. Chalamet won nothing, you know, and a lot
he
of
didn't
it had
deserve
to do.
anything.
Well, a lot of it, and agree, but you know, a lot of it had to do with the comments he made about the ballet.
Yeah, but
he pissed off Hollywood.
Yeah.
see,
So they punished him.
Isn't
Might
he
have
in the
been last
Kardashian
minute, but they
cult
punished
now?
him. Go ahead.
Isn't he in the Kardashian cult now?
I've made it clear my thoughts on the Kardashians and
the body count
I
in
made it
that
clear.
house.
I mean, look. Let me tell you something, Tanya B. The record is clear. why even argue the fact?
I'm gonna say the body count in that family, in that house. Woo, child.
Yeah. It's clear.
Stay out of the Kardashians. You got that right.
I mean, it's clear. I mean, now she's a Jenner, and people who love the Kardashians hate when I say it, but yeah, I feel that way.
It's
all right, y'all. Hey, you know, let's go ahead and do it.
It's time to wrap it up. This is the G Podcast.
Tanya B, what you got?
My wrap it up is I want to say shout out to all of the hardworking women of the WNBA. They finally got a pay increase. They won't make as much money as the men. They will make in the entire season probably less than each of the top players in the NBA make in a day. But just to get them into the million category, and it's been a long, hard fight, and they deserve more. But I just want to say shout out to all of those women. That some of them play better than the men. That they can now have a livable wage though. They don't have to go over to Russia, and these other third world, countries and play in the off season so they can pay their bills.
Yeah. What's the 3-on-3 thing, Howie? That they
ESPN,
are involved in.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it. I want to say ESPN is one who's driving a little bit.
But they get good money on that all season.
They make decent money, and that prevented some of them or allowed some of them not to have to go overseas in the most recent seasons to play. They can play in this 3-on-3 league. I'm cool with the WNBA earning more money, but and my point, Ms. Tanya B, and I'm 100% behind you. Until you become self-supportive, it's hard to drive dollars up. So when you become self-supportive, then you can drive the dollars more.
Yeah.
But now
they need to drive. They need to generate more revenue.
Exactly.
Overall.
Yeah, they do.
Exactly.
I mean, ever since Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark have come into the league, they have things that the bar has been raised because now people are going to games more. But to go with what you said, you just can't stop it now. They've got to continue to build the momentum, and build the interest, because otherwise they could go broke. The league.
Well, but you remember the NBA was much like that when they began. Also, before when they merged, they had halftime
From
shows
the ABA.
with all weird stuff. So they had to build their credibility and build their brand as well. So the WNBA is on the right track, and they'll get there. But at the end of the day, we have to support that.
Yeah. Tanya B, what else you got? And I'm gonna go to Howie if you're finished.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what else I got? I just want to say, congratulations to Idris Elba. Not that this means anything to a lot of people in this country, but what's his name? King Charles, is that his name? Yeah, he knighted him. So now when you call him, you must call him Sir Idris Elba. But I'm not mad at him because I think he's the first person of color in a very, very long time to be bestowed that honor. So I'm not mad at him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe he can help keep Lauren.
And it's honestly, regardless how you feel about Idris, it is well deserved.
Yeah.
He's put in the work, man.
He put in the work, yeah.
So,
you know who else should be coming after
him?
him? My boy, Cheddarwell. I always screw up his name.
Me too.
Victor Sweet.
I just call him Mr. Kinky Boots.
That's him. He should be next. He should be next.
Yeah.
Cheddarwell Ediford, I think is his name.
Dude,
is the way he's. Yeah.
Kinky Boots.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
all I got. That's all I got.
He was excellent in that movie. I got to give it to him. He put on the show.
Really was.
He put on the show. What you got, Howie? Last
just real short. This is one of the best times of the year with the NCAA finals going on. I want to shout out Speedy Claxton and Rod Strickland, who took their small universities into the playoff in 64. But more importantly, that Prairie View A&M, Tennessee State University, Howard University, all HBCUs who represented well. and made it in. Shout out to them. And let's just keep pouring money into those systems. You know, making it to the tournament is like a $4 million boost to their sports. And for HBCUs, that's huge. And so let's just keep pouring money into them and getting them into the tournament. That's all I have, man. I appreciate the time. And again, I appreciate the invitation.
I appreciate you last minute, man. Give it to the hit man.
Appreciate you every minute, Howie. You gotta come around a little
Tanya
more
B. All right, I got you.
Come around a
Is
little
Tanya
more
B
often, Howie.
Tanya B cooking down the road? Is that why?
That's it. They 11. That's why she wants you to
Yes.
come, because she
I
cooking,
gotta
man.
get there. I gotta talk to somebody.
We don't want to have to walk a plate over to you. Come on,
There you
dog.
go. Bring me a plate. Yeah.
No, there will be no delivery. There will be no delivery.
No, none of that.
No delivery.
I gotta say this. I told you so. I'm going to tell you, to those Trey folks, Trey Young, I told you so. That's all I got to say. The Atlanta Hawks are performing admirably. This is the best I've seen them play since Trey came in to the league.
Right.
With the Atlanta Hawks. They are well over 500, which has not happened in a long time. It looks as if they got 13 games left, something like that, 16 games. It looks like there's a possibility that they will finish well over 500. There's a possibility, even though I think they lost to Houston last night.
Right.
They still have the opportunity, instead of always going into the secondary play-in, to actually, they still have there's a possibility that they could make it into the playoffs.
Oh, right.
You know,
Wow.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I am so happy for these guys. I do think a lot of the motivation comes in the fact that Snyder's contract is in its fourth year next year, and he's got only 5 years left. So it helps the negotiations for him, so he's going to probably put in more work. I do think the change is coming because of the new GM, who is much more savvy, much more on top of basketball, who understands the league and is a talent expert who's getting the right guys in here. So I just say kudos to the Atlanta Hawks. I'm so happy that finally it looks as if the team is getting traction. I will say that. I think they are surrounding the right guy,
Right.
Jalen Johnson. And I think we've got a lot to look forward to. If not, I don't think they'll go very far this year, but I think next year we got a lot to look forward to. I'm gonna say that. The other thing, and I'm gonna keep it sports related. Here's the deal, y'all. Michael Penix is not your cousin. All right. I want to say that he's not a family member. Okay. He has to earn that job as quarterback. He needs to earn it. Now, regardless of what you're saying, one of the things is it's not his fault that he didn't get the he wasn't prepared last season. It's not his fault that nobody gave him any snaps going inside of preseason to get him ready for the season. That's not his fault. That's coaching. But it's on him in terms of how he plays when he's on the field. And he's shown us something. He's shown us some, but he's a rookie. He's still a rookie. So as for me, if Tua plays the way he played in Alabama, who said that? Did you say that? Did you say that, Howie?
Somebody. Yeah.
Wasn't me.
Yeah.
If he balls out, if he tries to rejuvenate his career, then there's no problem with Penix sitting on the bench for a couple of years under him, because it prepares him more. But I'm not in a rush to put Penix in if he's not ready.
He's got to learn to bring it.
If he's got to bring it. If he's not extending plays, if he's not extending plays, if he can only work out of the shotgun and the pistol, if he can't play under center, you can't give us more play action opportunities, then, quite frankly, wait. Wait until you can. So, again, Michael Penix is not your cousin. I don't care if there's, Kirk Cousins was a mistake, huge mistake. But for 1.3 million to have how long has Tua been in the league? 7?
Go 6-7 years, exactly right.
We're talking about a guy who's taken more snaps over Penix, who's been in the league longer. If he can deliver something more, then he should be the guy out there. Now they're going to compete for the job. If they compete for the job and Tua wins, so be it. Move on.
Yeah, right. I think it has to be a healthy competition, if nothing else. At the end of the day, simply a healthy competition. Everybody push all their chips into the table, and the best person wins. That's it.
I mean, it's unfortunate that Penix won't be able to play in the preseason because he's not going to be ready. But on the other hand, it's like if Tua gets out there and shows his natural-born Alabama playing, you know what, then he should be the guy.
Yeah.
He ain't my cousin. He ain't sending me money every week. He ain't my brother. He ain't my family member. The Falcons need to win. Let me say that again to all y'all who are like on this Penix thing about they doing him wrong. Let me say this. The Falcons need to win.
Right.
Let me say it to you. Look in the camera. The Falcons need to win. I don't care if it's an AI quarterback. We need to win. I don't care. I don't care who it is.
They better
just
play
like,
the Carolina
Seattle
Panthers
didn't
every
care,
week.
apparently. Who was the quarterback?
Geno Smith. They got rid of him.
No, I mean, no, who took him to the no, I'm not. Yeah, Seattle this past year.
But they got rid of Geno and brought in this other guy.
Darnold. I mean,
Sam Donaldson, right? Donaldson.
Yeah, right. Sam Darnold.
Right.
They brought in they put in the best guy.
Mm-hmm.
They won the Super Bowl.
Right.
Hey.
And he was a journeyman, straight up journeyman.
Well, he was on his last leg in the league. He was the last leg in the league. Yeah.
Last leg.
Mm-hmm.
So 1.3 million. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, give it a shot.
I
agree with you. At this point, they got to do anything they can. They got to do anything they can to win. Even though I think they're tossing in this next season. I think they're not doing anything because remember they're getting all these compensatory picks for 27. Mm-hmm. The trades they're making is all impacting picks for the 27th. So next season might be just a throwaway season. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I agree with you. They need to win.
They need to win. Hey, I'm going to say this. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you go to castropolis.net. Everything you need is there. Hit the QR code here that you see. You'll see everything for This Is the G podcast. Don't forget, also support us on the Velvet Frequency. Not only can you listen to the music 24/7, but you can also check out the Bird Wire at 4 o'clock every Sunday. And check out within the cluster, This Is the G podcast, this episode immediately after the Bird Wire. And just check it out. And it's perfect season for it. All right? All right, y'all. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support. And we're going hard, man. I mean, we're in perilous times. Deserve, a little extra. So we're gonna be extra on this war thing. We definitely are. I know y'all don't want to hear it.
It might be a cruel summer, y'all. So just get.
Yeah, it might be. What? I mean, you're paying. The gas prices hurt. I'm not gonna lie to you. It makes a huge difference in your weekly, in your daily. Right. If you commute, and all that's going to trickle into your food prices.
That's a ripple effect. People don't go out as much. People don't see things as much.
Right. Your utilities.
Everything's more.
Utilities. Everything.
Everything is more.
Yeah.
And real quick, one good thing Kemp did is he did take the tax off of our summer tax off of our gas here in the state of Georgia. So he did do that, but nonetheless, it still is high.
They're still going back up. They're still trickling up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hey, y'all, with that, episode 303 is in the can. Have a great week, y'all. Peace and power to the people.
Like the power.
You've been listening to This Is the G Podcast. And This Is the G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.